Alright, that break took a little bit longer than what I wanted to, but here we are back again. Made it up just spending time with family. So, back at it. There is going to be an update to the game here. About an hour and a half. So, I'll be on this time long, but felt like playing. As soon as the update's done, I'll be back to it. Basically just gonna chill, probably level up Marauder right now, or waiting to continue the story. No big rush to do anything, especially with that update coming around. May as well just wait. So, sorry if I don't talk much, guys. It's, you can see in the top right, it's 9:22 at night. Mostly everybody in the house is asleep. I just felt like playing. I'm gonna just get some grinding in. Not really grinding, just get some leveling in and all that. That way we can do all the job quests and stuff. I want to do everything that's available to me. I want to learn how to play all the jobs on controller, see how they feel. Find which one sits right with me. Kind of using this time right now to decide what I want to main once Evercold releases. And it might sound odd, but I tend to actually play whatever main character that's where decided it's gonna be. So, like, Dondrell, he was a Viper. I liked the way Viper played, so that's what I made. Samurai is also fun. Warrior was actually the first job that I ever picked when I picked up the game. So, I like all the classes, they're all pretty fun. It's just a matter of what I want to play. The only one that I do find rather boring, and I hope it gets a rework, is Summoner. And that's because Summoner is just very, in my opinion, it's very boring. You have a very static rotation. You don't really, I mean, you have options, but it doesn't really matter. but I am interested to see how the new. I'm interested to see how the new evolved and basically legacy rotations are, because we've only seen melee. Like we've only seen how the tanks are going to kind of work. Um, we've only seen how Bard works with that. We saw a little bit of Dragoon, but we didn't see any of the casters. So what I'm thinking they're going to probably do is like let's say they'll give casters a combo, kind of like my 1-2-3 on Paladin, but instead of it being a 1-2-3, it'd be like you cast one spell, it changes to another, you cast another, it changes to another, which causes a different set of buttons to light up. You use those, and then yeah, I don't know how they're gonna work with the casters. I have a feeling Viper and Pictomancer probably won't change that much. If they do, I would be very surprised. If anything, what they're going to do is make Viper be basically, you press one button, it changes to a different one, and then it does it like 6 times, and then you could use this big thing. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. We'll do this quick little story part real quick. Such a tax was on the books. Was mined. I'm afraid that ship's already sailed, friend. Might you be the adventurer accepted the job of investigating Sestasha? It would seem that ship has not only sailed, but now returns to harbor, none the worse for its voyage. A pity we dragged our boots too long on this one. No matter, the wheel will turn on, and our chance will come. You are right, of course, but there shall be no rest till we have attained our goal, lofty though it may be. Not a wink of sleep, great leader. Our aim, lest you wonder, is to perform such feats of heroism as will earn us a place in the songs of every alehouse in Eorzea. We mean to write a legend which will inspire adventurers as yet unborn to follow our shining example. Do you have such a goal, large or small, it matters not, only have a star to reach for and you will reach higher. Purpose can sustain you through times of hardship, keep your eye on the prize, and all obstacles will be overcome in time. You would not think to stride into battle unclad, would you? Well, goals are as arms and armor for the spirit. I wish you fortune in your endeavors, sir. Back then, are ye, with all your limbs and a tale to tell, I'll wager? Yeah, I fought a fish man. Fishbacks. And there I was thinking you'd only have to crack a pirate skull or 3, 7 hells. You turn your back for 5 bloody minutes, and the scaly bastards will set shop on your bleeding doorstep. Still, sounds like you left them in pieces, so I don't suppose they'll be carrying out whatever mischief they was planning, unless they was planning on feeding themselves to the fauna of Sestasha, of course. Any road, all's well that ends well. On behalf of Limsa, I thank you for shedding some light on the mystery. You've lived up to your reputation, and I couldn't ask for more than that. Now I'll bet you're dying for a rest, but just in case you're not, I was wondering if you might be interested in taking on another job. It just so happens that I've had a request from our sister guild in Gridania. Seems the forest folk are in need for an adventurer what can get things done. For them to ask for help like this, you can bet the task won't be no skip through a sunny glade, but after the way he dealt with our fishback infestation, I doubt it's anything he can't handle. Give us a shout when you're ready, and I'll lay it out for you. Alright, I'm going to accept this real quick. We'll do this little story part and we won't be going to Gridania unless the warrior quests make us do, which I don't think they do. We're gonna do that real quick, just get it out of the way. Ready to hear about the job then? Like I said, the request comes from our sister guild in Gridania, and that's all I know. But whatever it is you get asked to do, I somehow doubt it pose any trouble for an adventurer who survived the Bedlam and Sestasha. If you think you might be interested, you'll want to have words with Mother Mion, me counterpart in Gridania. Good luck, mate. Alright. So now, what I'm gonna have to do is actually, I'm going to do that all off screen. I'm gonna just level up the warrior to where I need it to be. Well, no, I'll do it on stream. I'll just do it after the update. I don't feel like doing it right now, actually. So, we are going to go to Gridania. One second. Okay, sorry about that. My son had a question for me. Whoops. I'm gonna get a drink of water real quick. Alright. Take a seat wherever you like, friend. Our waitress will come take your... Oh, not here to dine. Do I hope that you're the adventurer Baderon sent word about? You are. The matron be praised. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Mion, and the Carling Canopy is my place. With regard to the task in question, there is a fair bit to tell. Let me know when you're ready to hear the details, and I shall brief you. Ready for that briefing? Good. Now then, here's the long and the short of it. Beg pardons for interrupting, Mion, but our need grows ever more pressing. Have none step forward. Good morrow to you, Lord. Your need must be pressing indeed for you to honor us with a visit. The good news is your journey hasn't been wasted. I'm pleased to report that we have a volunteer at last, and one who comes highly recommended at that. My thanks for answering the call, friend. My name is Lewin, and I lead the men and women of the God's Quiver. Now, time is of the essence, so I shall proceed directly to the heart of the matter. We wish for you to nip a potential threat to Gridania in the bud. Beneath the central shroud, there lies an underground burial site called the Tantar Deepcroft. The place was once a Gelmoran settlement, but we Gridanians have long interred our dead there. Of late, however, shadowy figures have been seen skulking about the Deepcroft, and with ever-increasing regularity. Based on the accounts of various witnesses, we suspect that these individuals belong to the Lambs of Dalamud, a doomsday cult which sprung up prior to the calamity. These zealots have proven themselves dangerous in the past, and we leave them to their own devices at our peril. Ordinarily, I would have dispatched my best men to scour the Deepcroft with orders to flush the cultists out. Alas, the calamity decimated our ranks, and the limited forces at my disposal are constantly required to keep the Ixal at bay. The birdmen have grown restless of late, and I fear a storm may be brewing. In anticipation of this, I have been compelled to spread our forces throughout the Twelveswood, lest we be taken unawares. The situation so being, we must turn to others to deal with the Lambs of Dalamud. Can we rely on you to undertake this task, friend? Sure thing. You have my gratitude. Once you've seen to your preparations, pray make your way to the Deep Croft and identify yourself to the guard post at the entrance. He will apprise you of the latest developments. That is all. Be careful out there, you hear? May the crystal guide you and keep you. Alright, I guess we gotta go stop some grave robbers. But before I do that, I'm gonna go to the Carpenter's Guild so I can get this stuff for the esthetician. And I may as well pick this up. Could have swore I already did this though. I might be wrong. We will go over crafting and gathering later. Probably when I start doing other jobs and stuff. Stop here, we'll grab this real quick. And make it a habit to do all of the quests that have that symbol just for sanity's sake. Because those ones do unlock stuff, so I always do all of them every time I see them. I don't really care if it doesn't unlock anything. Your Leaf Gaming, I take it. Thanks for helping us out, friend. No doubt the Bow Lord has already informed you, but your task is to enter the Deepcroft and purge it of the Lambs of Dalamud. In case you're unfamiliar with them, the cult emerged shortly before the Calamity put an end to the 6th asteroid. The cultists took the Lesser Moon Dalamud for their god, believing that it would deliver them from their devastation, and so they were rather disappointed when Dalamud exploded into 1,000 flaming pieces before it could complete its descent. Now, having seen their god turn to ash, one would think that the cultists might feel moved to question their faith. On the contrary, it served only to stoke the flames of their fanaticism. The Lambs of Dalamud are convinced that heretics, that is to say everyone but them, interfered with the coming of their Lord and Savior, and that it's now their sacred duty to avenge him. Or whatever it is they're doing in the Deepcroft, you may be sure that it's no good, that no good will come of it for the sake of Gridania and Eorzea at large put an end to their madness. Alright, oh, time to open the good old duty finder. And I love the tanks. Thank yous. It's only going to get faster with the way the new queuing system works. If I could click on the right thing, that'd be nice. setup. I'll just skip that because is done, so now we just go back to Bent Branch. Turn in this little side quest to unlock the housing for Gridania. And then we go back to Mother Mion. Got just a little bit over an hour to finish this last bit. Welcome back, Leaf. I'm reliably informed that your foray into the Deep Croft was a success. Nor did I expect anything less. Bataran's ringing endorsement left me a little in little doubt as to your capabilities. Even so, you are to be commended. Well, Lord Lewin asked me to pass on his thanks. I must say it's something of a relief to be able to call upon such a capable adventurer. Sadly, death has become an ever more common occurrence within our fraternity of late. Times being what they are, the guild is constantly inundated with petitions, and we are hard-pressed to find enough hands to deal with them all. While this means no shortage of work for able souls such as yourself, it also provides ample opportunity for the inexperienced to overreach themselves with predictable consequences. As if to illustrate the point. Avir's gone and it's all your fault. If it hadn't taken you an age to heal him, he would still be alive. That's kind of harsh. But I tried. He bolted out of range before I could finish the spell. He shouldn't have been so hard-pressed in the first place. We should have done more to lighten his burden. Bah, to the hells with this pathetic excuse for a party. I'm leaving, and it'd be too soon if I ever see your faces again. Goodbye and good riddance. I'm leaving as well. I doubt this comes as any surprise, but I never liked you. I only suffered you for your healing, but you couldn't even do that one thing right. Cruel though this may sound, you brought this upon yourself. Some parting advice: get rid of Avir's head, bury it, cremate it, do whatever the hells you'd like with it, but for God's sake, stop carrying it around. It's just get rid of it, alright? Wait, don't leave me all alone, please. I'm sorry, Avir, please forgive me. Scenes like this have become all too common. That makes a dozen times in half as many days. Now you see why I'm grateful for adventurers of your experience. I can send men like you on a mission without worrying that you might not return. Well, not so much at any rate. Speaking of missions, I would entrust you with another. About a bell ago, I received a message from my counterpart in Ul'dah. She seeks the services of a reliable adventurer, and you are nothing if not reliable. If you think you might be interested in this task, say the word, and I will be glad to share the details with you. So, you're not adverse to taking a little trip? Wonderful. As I mentioned earlier, the request comes from us from the Adventurers Guild in Ul'dah. Once you arrive, seek out Mamodi, the proprietress of the Quicksand. Think of her as the Sultanate's version of myself. Chances are she'll send you into the midst of danger, but I have every confidence that you will pull through unscathed. Now off you go, Leaf, and good luck. Alright. Here we go. back to Ul'dah. But before we go see Momodi, make a quick pit stop at the Alchemist Guild. Welcome to the Quicksand, friend. I'm a tad busy right now. If you wouldn't mind showing yourself to... Oh, it's you, Leaf. And there I was, spouting the same tired line. Mion sent word that you'd be reporting for duty. She also made a point of calling you the adventurer of the moment. That ain't no small praise coming from her. But you didn't come all this way to come here to listen to my prattle. Doubtless you're eager to get started, so let's talk business, shall we? The petitioner ought to be arriving any moment now. God's almighty, another second under that sun and I would have been set afire. A tankard of ale if you would be so kind. Excellent timing, Papa Sean. It just so happens the adventurer who will be handling your petition is here. Oh, if it isn't my good friend Leaf. It does my spirit well to know that you are the one who will be helping us. Mayhap you'd like to appraise Leaf of his mission. Yes, of course. The petition in question was submitted by an acquaintance of mine at Amalgina and Sons Mineral Concern. It relates to an unfortunate development at Copperbill Mines. To be plain, giants have seized control of the place. These giants are of the clan known as the Hecatoncheires, fearsome creatures who were sealed within the deepest depths of the mines during the bygone Thorn Dynasty. Alas, it seems they have managed to break through the layer of rock which served to imprison them and now prowl the tunnels where the miners ply their trade. The creatures are justifiably angry about their treatment at the hands of our ancestors, and their presence has forced the suspension of all mining activities on the site. It's no wonder they're angry. Didn't the Thorn Dynasty come to an end over 300 years ago? You know your history well, lady. The people of that age used the Hecatoncheires to work their mines by way of enchanted homes. They were able to bind the ferocious creatures to their will, but as is oft the way of such tales, these enchantments eventually failed, and the slaves rose up against their masters. In a desperate bid to contain the unbridled fury of the Hecatoncheires, our ancestors induced the collapse of the mine's lowermost levels. So it was that the great giant revolt was ended, buried beneath 100,000 tons of rock. Well, now that got me thinking. I seem to recall there being an article about Copperbill in the Mithril Eye a fortnight or so ago. It said the mines were being reopened so as to meet the rising demand for building materials. Like as not, our boys dug a bit too deep and freed the giants. Godspeed, the poor creatures are still alive and kicking after 3 centuries. It's a long time to nurse a grudge. They must be seething. Indeed, and that makes them a danger to us all. There will be no mining at Copperbill so long as they remain. For the sake of both peace and prosperity, they must be subdued. This is the task which we would have you undertake. I'll not deny that the mission will be rife with danger, but our need is great, and so I beg you put an end to this sorry business. Gods bless you. I feared you might have reservations, but I assure you it is for the best. In case you don't know, Copperbill Mines is in western Thanalin. Do take care, you hear? Oh, and one last thing before you depart. An employee of Amagina and Sons is presently at the Quicksand. The fellow's name is Painted Mesa, and he knows Copperbill Mines well. It may behoove you to seek his counsel. Looking for Painted Mesa? You found him. So you're the adventurer who's volunteered to deal with the mess down in Copperbill, are you? You've got guts, mate. I just hope you've got skills to go with them, because things ain't pretty down there. The Hecatoncheires left the place in a right state an area week after mining resumed. I don't know if you know this, but Copperbell was old when the Second Ul Dynasty was still young, and it was abandoned centuries ago. If it hadn't been for the shortage of materials needed for the rebuilding effort, the concern would never have thought to reopen it. We knew full well about the giants beforehand, but the project went ahead anyway. I mean, nothing could possibly survive being buried under a mountain's worth of rock for 3 centuries, right? Wrong. Our miners dug up more than they bargained for, one swing of the pickaxe too many, and they found themselves in the company of giants. Unless we can subdue them, the nation's glorious recovery will grind to a halt for want of aught to build with. The stone torches keep in watch over the entrance in case the giants fancy some sunlight and fresh air. One of them will be able to show you the way in. The hope of the nation's resting on you, friend. Best of luck. Alright, so let's go to Horizon real quick. Like I said, I've got about an hour to get this done before the update happens, as you can see in the chat box that popped up a little bit ago. Because then the game's going to be down until like 3 a.m. and I'll probably be asleep by then. So we'll have to pick this up. I would like to stream for a longer time than I have been doing. It's just certain things get in the way. There's been an incident inside Copperbell Mines. We are here to ensure that its effects are contained, but for your own safety, I suggest you stay well away from here. What? You're the adventurer who's volunteered to quell the hecatoncurries? I didn't think that Papa Sean would be able to find someone so quickly, if at all. The giants are content to wreak havoc inside the mines for now, but it's only a matter of time before they think to come outside. The sooner you see to them, the better. Make ready as best you can, and enter at will. And of course, this is the one that I don't get an instant queue pop on. Go figure. Well, while I wait for this, I will be right back. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Alright, I'm back. And the queue's still going, so I guess what I'd normally do during this is I'd probably just go level something else up. But with that maintenance gonna happen here in a little bit, I may as well just not. Just kind of sit back, relax. What I could do actually, get this set up. I could go ahead and get my bars all set up. We're going to move that here. And then we're going to go here. We're going to go here. I'm going to put main right there. Berserk right there. Overpower right there. Defiance right there. Tomahawk right there. Storm's Path we'll put right here. Thrill of Battle will go, I think, right there. No. Well, actually. Sure, that'll work for now. Then, let's see. Where do I want this stuff to go? Oh, well, I guess we'll never know. I didn't set that up right, so I'll just equip this for right now. And we'll get this dungeon on our way. Alrighty. Had the wrong set equipped. didn't want that, but I guess I did because I couldn't get to it in time. Alright, well, now we go back to Old and we talk to Painted Mesa. And no, I haven't forgotten to do my class quest. Alrighty. Ah, the Conqueror of Copperbell returns. Thanks to you, our minor operations can resume, and Ul'dah will have the materials she needs to rebuild. The entire nation's in your debt, friend. I'll share the good tidings with Papa Shaw the next time I see him. As for you, you'll want to report to Momodi. I'll do the woman well to see you alive and in one piece. Well, that can't be good. Shut your mouth, you thieving little swine. You stole from me. Don't even think to deny it. But please, sir, I didn't steal nothing. I bought this. I paid for it with my own coin. What rot. You refugees are all the same. Can't afford maggoty mole meat, much less a choice cut of dodo. I'm going to say it one more time. Give back what you stole, or I'll make you wish you'd never set foot in this town. By rights, I should turn you over to the Brass Blades, you know. Help keep the streets safe for law-abiding citizens, but I'm a reasonable man. If you agree to serve me in whatever capacity I require, the authorities needn't hear of your crime. But I ain't done nothing wrong. 12 is me witness. Please, adventurer, help me, I beg of ye. I swear on me mother's grave I didn't steal nothing. I bought this with the coin I'd saved. I only wanted to treat me children to a decent meal. And who the hells are you when you're at who the hells are you when you're at home? This dog's master? I've had enough of this mummer's farce. You lot teach them a lesson. Alright, time to kick some bandit booty. I ain't getting paid enough for this. Hey, where the hell do you think you're going? Think ye, kind adventurer, think ye thrice over. I'd swear there were more refugees than when I last looked. And you wouldn't be mistaken. But it's been 5 years since the calamity. Why are they only coming here now? It Simple, really. While a number of hamlets survived the immediate aftermath of the calamity, while many were no longer able to support their communities. The residents found their lands had either been rendered barren or cut off from trade routes, and problems like those aren't easily solved. Though they tried to make the best of it, it was only a matter of time before they were forced to abandon their homes and seek a new life in the city. I see. But the calamity affected the whole realm, didn't it? It's the same thing happening in the other cities? If the talk is true, yes. Though perhaps our situation is more pronounced. Ul'dah has a reputation for being prosperous, so it's natural that the refugees would try their luck here first. My heart goes out to them, it truly does, but I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't apprehensive. I hope their presence doesn't foment lawlessness in the city. Well, if things do take a turn for the worse, we always have the immortal flames. I dare say the brass blades would welcome their help. The heroes who fought the Garlean Empire patrolling the streets for riffraff? It may well come to that. Impoverished and desperate as they are, you may be sure that some of the refugees will turn to crime. You know what this place is like. If you've no coin, you've no hope. What will become of our city? Not all refugees are bad, mind you. Some are able to find employment and lead honest lives. Dodo tenderloins, get your dodo tenderloins, guaranteed cheapest in Thanoin. Thank you for your custom, madam. Please come again. Looking around, you'd think that Ul'dah was well on its way to recovery. But peer through the veil of prosperity and you'll see no end to the misery and suffering. Sir, are you alright? What now? You mean to threaten a defenseless citizen? What, saw her buy that meat, you say? That's absurd. Aye, as did I. Leave the poor woman alone, you damnable vulture. Who said that? I will overlook this, but just this once. God bless you, adventurer. If you hadn't come along when you did, who knows what that monster might have done. It don't bear thinking about. Hello. All's well that ends well. We meet again. Pray do not mistake my intent, for it is always honorable, but I have been watching you ever since you departed Ul'dah. You played the part of envoy to perfection, confident as a man on a diplomatic mission should be, yet unfailingly courteous to your betters. And when your travels led you into the midst of danger, you faced it without so much as a flinch. You, my friend, are quite a marvel, and I confess to being somewhat in awe of you. But my lavish praise continues. Most of all, I was struck by your readiness to aid those in need, even when words were all the reward you could expect to receive. Such selflessness is a rare thing in this day and age. All of which leads me to conclude that you are indeed the one whom I have been looking for, an adventurer possessed of a very rare set of qualities. To be sure, your rescue of that damsel in distress was more of a happy accident, but rescue her you did, and that is what matters in the end. I feel I should mention at this point that I also harbor a burning interest in a certain talent of yours. I speak of your visions. You have been experiencing visions, have you not? Well, it just so happens that I know a woman who shares your talent and can help you to understand it. She and I belong to the same organization, and we should both be delighted beyond words if you would agree to join our cause. Naturally, there are benefits to being part of such a collective. For one, we should be glad to assist you in realizing your potential as an adventurer. You need not give me your answer now, think upon it, and if you feel moved to help us, as I pray you shall, speak with Mamori, the ever-lovely and youthful mistress of the quicksand. Tell her the Scions of the Seventh Dawn had found their man, and she will tell you where to find us. Alright, well. Hey, Momodi. Seems like that are becoming even more common, I'm afraid. Don't worry, though. If you work hard, you'll probably be alright. Saying that, if you ever find yourself in a spot of bother, come and see me. Just don't go pester me every time you graze your knee, eh? Of course, I do enjoy hearing tell of a gentleman's woes with the woman folk from time to time. Ah, Leet, sorry to keep you waiting. I was just providing guidance to a fresh off-the-carriage adventurer. But gods, it's good to see you safe and well. To look at you, no one would ever guess you'd been hard at work, or you'd been hard at it with giants in the dark. I never doubted for a moment that you succeed, of course, and neither did Papa Sean, which ain't to say he won't be overjoyed. Oh, before I forget, there's a lass here who wants a word with you. Didn't actually know your name, but hearing her description, I knew who she meant right away. Thank you for sparing the time. I realize you don't know me, but I've been longing to speak with you for a while now. My name is Edda. I'm an adventurer like you, though I'm not very good at being one, if truth be told. Anyway, I was adventuring with my friends in Gridania we were in Gridania when the leader of our party was killed. His name was Avir, and he and I were to be wed in the spring. You may not remember him, but to say that he remembered you would be an understatement. He would sing your praises from dusk to dawn. He saw you for what you are, you see, an adventurer's adventurer, and swore that he would be like you one day. I believe that he would have succeeded had a feed not robbed him of the chance. Since that day, I have thought long and hard about giving up adventuring. But when I think of the man you are, and of all that you have achieved, I find that I am inspired, just as Avir once was. And so I've decided to start again as an adventurer. I will go back to the village of my birth and begin my training anew. But I wanted to meet you first to ask you your name. Leave Gaming. I shan't forget. Thank you, Leave Gaming. I pray that we will meet again. Fare you well. Adventuring can be a cruel bleeding business. Time was, I didn't know why anyone would bother. When they first asked me to take charge of the guild here, I didn't want aught to do with you lot. Thought it'd be a right pain in the arse looking after you all. But against my better judgment, I decided to accept the post, and I'm full glad I did. I feel privileged to be a part of your lives. And that goes double for yours, Leaf. What did you say? You want to know about the Scions of the Seventh Dawn? They're beginning to move in earnest, then. Listen, Leaf, the Scions ain't no ordinary folk, and the work they do ain't no ordinary work. I know full well how capable you are, but even you would think twice about attempting some of the stuff they do. Knowing that, if you're still certain you want to get involved, I'll tell you what I can. So you want to know more then, do you? Well, ain't that a surprise. I swear, if I painted certain death on one door and limitless wealth on another, 9 out of 10 adventurers would go through the first, and the other bloke wouldn't be able to choose on account of being old Dawn. Anyway, don't say I didn't warn you. First of all, if you're wondering whether you can trust these Scions of the Seventh Dawn, you can't. They're good people who've made it their mission to solve some of Eorzea's most pressing problems. Of course, that ain't no small task, and so they're always looking for dependable individuals to join them. Individuals like you, Leaf. Now, I've been given leave to tell you where to find the Scions, but you must promise to keep this information to yourself. As you can probably imagine, it's something Eorzea's enemies would very much like to know. The Scions are headquartered in Vesper Bay out in western Thanalan. The place you're looking for is called the Waken Sands. Give your name to whoever's at the entrance and you'll be let in. You're a man in demand, Leaf, and the days ahead promise to be busy, but I hope you won't forget your old friend Momodi. Drop in and tell me how you're faring from time to time. You hear, right? Right, well, I've said my piece. Off you go. Alright, well, before we go to Vesper Bay and probably get kicked out of the game for the maintenance, we're going to go to the Gladiators Guild and accept my final Gladiator quest. Damn it all to the seventh hell. This is madness. It's all this. He's been arrested by the Brass Blades. They claim he was plotting to assassinate the Sultana. This is utter nonsense. He has no motive to do so, and whatever I said about the man, he would never resort to using poison. The Alacran must be behind this. They have failed to kill him time and time again. And now they're reaching out to their monetarist allies. I don't want to believe Wyman when he says they had such influence, but... Wait, that's it. If anyone can help us unravel this plot, it's Waymond. He has a reputation for knowing things he shouldn't, after all. Find Waymond, see what he can tell us. All this is many things, but he is not a murderer. Alright. I was wondering where you might come along, Leaf. Frankly, I'm surprised all this went so quietly. You ought to know there was no walking away from this. You really don't know, do you? Best I start at the beginning then. Aldous is something of an enigma. He and Leavold were two of the greatest gladiators ever to grace the Bloodsands, but he threw all that hard-fought glory away for a few gil more. See, the average old Don loves a good Colosseum fight, and what better way to make a gladiatorial spectacle more entertaining than wagering on the outcome? So when it got out that Aldous was orchestrating a match-fixing scheme of untold proportions, well, you can imagine the shock and anger the people felt. He was expelled from the Colosseum, and his wins were stricken from the record. Your guildmaster, Mila, got the worst of it, though. Not only was her friend exposed as a fraud, but around the same time her father fell ill and passed away. There were some oddities surrounding his death too. 'Twas rumored he took his own life out of shame for his disgraced pupil, or that he might have even been murdered by the man. Baseless to conjecture, really, but it made Aldous look that much worse. In the end, Mila lost two of the most important men in her life, and was forced to take charge of the guild alone. Leavold, he tried to go it solo on the Bloodsands, but it wasn't the same. Without Aldous, his career was finished. Now you know the nature of the man you so desperately want to save, though judging from your look in your eye, I gather you still have your reservations. Fine then. But you can't blame me for doubting a man found in possession of Rauger's bile. This is a bile poison, rare and expensive too. Only the Corpse Brigade knows how to make it, I hear. Gods only knows why they'd give it to Aldous. Could go to their headquarters at the Sepulchre in southern Thanolin and ask him direct, I reckon. I have an aversion to direct confrontation personally, but you don't, do you? By the by, should you save the poor bastard's life, tell him we're even, and that I hope it was all worth it. Alright, well, now I could either go to Vesper Bay or go do my class quest. I'm gonna try to do my class quest. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it there, because it does get rather annoying running through mobs. But I should be fine. Plus, while I'm there, I think yep, I can kill some of my hunting log enemies. actually, well, 19 minutes. Might be able to get it. And have just enough time to get out and get to the sanctuary. That way I can get some, at least some rested XP for a couple hours. It's not much, but it's something. I'm gonna rush and try. This is where it gets kind of tricky. Don't do it to me. Let's see if I can. Nope. Where have you been, Leaf? Aldous has been given over into custody of the Sacrarium. They mean to execute him. We must do something. This poison isn't. You've proved that the Alacran purchased it from the Corpse Brigade. Thank the gods, you've done it. Quickly, we must show this to the official presiding over the execution at Highbridge. Go now. Alright, well, I'm going to wait on that. I'm going to end things here, I guess. Sorry it wasn't a super long episode / stream. I will be back as soon as the maintenance is done, or the update, or whatever they're doing to the servers. So until then, I guess take care. See ya.